Hey everyone, so recently during the week of Christmas 2022, here in Central Florida, Zone 9B, we had 2 nights of freezing. On top of that, we had 2 additional days that were in the 30s or maybe low 40s. So what I have in front of me is the Dwarf Namwah, and the reason why I wanted to showcase this is I wanted to show how well it handled this freeze. Now, a Dwarf Namwah is not immune to freezes. It will die back. As you can see, it took cold damage, but the Dwarf Namwah is known for its ability to handle the cold weather better than other bananas. And so I wanted to show that to you. So as you can see, we still have a lot of leaves that look pretty healthy. And the other thing I want to show you is that you can see there's a flag leaf. It is right here. And so that means it's about to push out a banana flower, and then after the banana flower, a rack of bananas. Now, we still could have some freezes and that could completely die back, but I'm going to let this thing go through the winter and see, if we have a mild winter, then potentially we can get that rack to produce. But I show you all this because it did quite well considering the weather that we had. And I'm gonna go through and show the rest of the varieties of my bananas so you can have a contrast to see, yeah, the Dwarf Namwah does hold up pretty well. So we can actually jump right on over here. This is my Dwarf Puerto Rican plantain. There's 2 of them over here. This one over here has a banana flower popping up. You can see it popping up there. And I'm not sure how this one's gonna do, because although the banana flower is still being pushed out, even after the freeze, with all the dead leaves around it, it may not have the energy that it needs from what the photosynthesis that those leaves provide. So not sure how well it's going to do. It's safe to say I'll have to cut these 2 Dwarf Puerto Rican plantains back to the ground and let them start from new pups. We'll go over here. So this one's an ornamental banana here. You can see another one there, and I think it's like a Grand Am Sinatran cross or something like that. You can see where it didn't take the cold weather too well. So this right here is a Dwarf Cavendish, and as you can see, compared to the Dwarf Namwah right here, it did not fare too well. This is a standard Namwah, and you see that it has significant damage. This Dwarf Brazilian, significant damage on it. This is a Lacatan, and it got hit pretty good. And this one's kind of really back in here under some understory. And all of it's under an understory, but this one even more so. This is my double Mahoy. It did pretty good. Again, it's further back, more of an overstory, more protection, pretty much on all sides. This right here is my ice cream banana, and clear to see it didn't like the cold. And then Dwarf Orinoco did the same thing. And both of these in an overstory as well. One thing I want to add is that I got this from Hart. Well, Hart was at the Bach Tower plant sale, and so that's where I bought this from. So if you're wondering where you can get a Dwarf Namwah, if you look them up, I think you can make appointments to go and buy plants from them. Okay, so here we are 7 months later, and as you can see, I have a fully developed rack. There's some bananas ripening, which I've already had, and they're very delicious. But as you can see, it only had so many leaves left, but it had enough to produce this rack here. Again, this is just a good example of why the Dwarf Namwah is good for the subtropical climates. And as you can see, there's a pup right beside it, ready to replace the parent, because as soon as I remove that rack, then I'll remove that banana tree. As far as the other bananas I have, the Dwarf Puerto Rican plantains, they tried to produce. There was one that kind of survived. It had maybe like 2 or 3 leaves, and it tried to produce a banana flower and had a small rack on it, but it just kind of flopped over, and so these are the pups that are replacing it. Namwah over here recovering, and then we have a Dwarf Brazilian, which doesn't look like a dwarf. I think it's because it's skinnier than the regular Brazilian, but it's producing a rack. But again, it had to wait till all the way till July to actually get to where it can produce a rack. So it's sending out the banana flower right there. So it didn't come out of that winter producing a rack, unlike the Dwarf Namwah. Okay, as you can see, I've got the rack right here. And the banana doesn't look like a store banana. These are really compact, so it's kind of misshapen, but still way better than a store banana. As far as the flavor goes, it's kind of a lighter banana flavor with almost like a mild, like a honeyness to it. So just nice and sweet, good flavor. So yeah, there's the banana there. So one benefit of these smaller bananas is sometimes the store bananas can be just too much. I actually don't eat them in the morning because if I do, then at work I get like a carb hit and I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep right there at my desk. A little small banana like this is actually more ideal. Better flavor anyway, so highly recommend it if you're in Zone 9B or higher. Thanks for watching and God bless.